Sixth graders, I would like you to find your copy of the drag and drop activity that we did last Thursday. Now, a lot of you probably already submitted it, so you can go into Schoology. If you go to the agenda from last Thursday, you should be able to access it. Oops, that's the wrong one. My bad. So from the agenda, if you go to last week, you can click on the elements, compounds, and mixtures drag and drop activity, and you can access it there. Otherwise, it is saved in your Google Drive somewhere. Okay, so we're just going to go through the answers to this real quick, and then if you haven't submitted it yet, you can submit it. Okay, so this first slide, and I'm going to kind of toggle back and forth because the key is behind this. Okay, remember, an element is where you have all of the same type of atom, so just one thing from the periodic table. So these three would be elements. And compounds is when you have more than one different thing from the periodic table. So these four would be compounds, because see how they're different colors? But then all of them are the same. All of the molecules are the same in that box. And then mixtures is where you have different elements and compounds in the same substance. So they're mixed together. The next slide, you were talking about if they're homogeneous or heterogeneous mixtures. And I think this is the next slide. Oh, it actually wasn't. The next slide was this build your own element. And yours might vary depending on what you did. So they all might look different, but your element should have only the same type of atom. Your compound would have different atoms joined together touching, and the mixture would have a multiple variety of things. So there is an example in here. Let me find it. All right, so you might have an example somewhat like this, okay? So the elements are all the same. The compounds are joined together with different colors, and then the mixture is a whole bunch of different ones, all right? Then we have the, if it's heterogeneous or homogeneous slide, and that is here. So the pictures will look like this. So the chocolate, the ocean water, the orange juice, and the brass are all homogeneous, and they're homogeneous because they're uniform in composition. We can't see the different parts that make it up. And the heterogeneous mixtures, they're not uniform, which means we can see the different parts of it. Okay. The next slide then, I went way ahead. Sorry, I'm out of order. Anyways, the next one was this pure substances versus mixtures slide. So this is the key for that. So pure substances have clearly defined physical and chemical properties. They're elements and compounds, and they cannot be formed or broken down by physical means because a chemical reaction or chemical change is what joins them together. Mixtures can be broken down by physical means. They contain one or more type of substance that each has unique properties, and they can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. And both pure substances and mixtures have mass and volume, and they have physical properties such as color, smell, and taste. Over here on the side, water is a pure substance. It's a type of compound. It's H2O. Smoke is a mixture. Seawater is a mixture, salt and water. Soda is a mixture. Carbon dioxide is a pure substance. It's a compound. Gold is a pure substance. It's an element. We can actually find gold right on the periodic table there. Diamonds are a pure substance. We can find that they're made out of carbon. Salad is a mixture, and gasoline is a mixture. So that was slide 3. We already did this slide 4. Slide 5 is where we drag and drop these. So here we go. So homogeneous means it's a mixture that has a uniform composition. A suspension is mixtures with particles that are too large to be mixed, so they often settle to the bottom unless stirred. An element is a substance that cannot be separated or broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. A pure substance is a substance with its own unique physical and chemical properties. A mixture is 2 or more substances that are combined physically. A solution is created when one substance is dissolved into another substance. Heterogeneous is a mixture that does not have a uniform composition. And a compound is made up of 2 or more elements chemically combined, which result in a substance with its own unique properties. All right, and then the last slide, you had to come up with your own You had to find examples of elements, compounds, and mixtures. So that was, it looked like this slide right here. Okay, so you should have been able to find 3 elements, 3 compounds, 3 heterogeneous mixtures, and 3 homogeneous mixtures. And then your explanations, the elements would be just because they're only made up of one type of atom. Compounds would be made up of 2 or more types of atoms. Heterogeneous mixtures, you can see the different pieces. And homogeneous mixtures, it's all blended together. You can't see the different pieces. All right, so go ahead, check your work, and then submit this if you have not done so yet. And then you will move on to the next activity. See you later.